In this video, I'm going to show you the right way to trade prop firms in 2026 with real results. Most traders aren't failing prop firms because their strategies don't work. They're failing because of how they're using them. If you've blown challenges, passed and then lost the funded account, or constantly feel like you're resetting, this is usually why. It's not discipline, it's not psychology, it's that you're over leveraging and trying to rush the process. And prop firms are designed to punish that. I trade prop firms using a simple rule-based approach that's designed specifically for staying within drawdown limits and getting consistent payouts. And it's what allows me to produce results like this, and this almost every single day. Not by forcing trades, not by gambling through evaluations, but by following a process that fits how prop firms are supposed to be traded. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to approach prop firms the right way in 2026, how to manage risk, how to pass evaluations without blowing accounts, and how to trade in a way that actually leads to payouts. By the end of this video, you'll understand why most traders fail at prop firms and how to avoid the same mistakes. Before we even talk about entries, before we talk about strategy, you need to understand one thing. Prop firms are not built for aggressive trading. They're built to tell whether or not you can manage risk without violating rules. And this is where most traders fail immediately. They treat a prop firm account like a personal account. The right way to trade prop firms is to prioritize survival over profits. Your first goal shouldn't be to pass fast, it should be to not fail. Because the moment you hit max drawdown, it's over. So instead of thinking how fast can I hit the target, you need to be thinking how do I stay as far away from drawdown as possible. That shift alone changes everything. You can see here in my TradeZilla dashboard, I'm currently up about $13.4 thousand this month alone. This is from trading the model that I trade every single day. And if you'll notice here, I started with one account, one Lucid account right here on the 8th. So that's 1, 2, 3. We actually had some trades before then as well, but we had 1, 2, 3, 4 winning days. This started the beginning of my Apex accounts. Which I have 10 of, so that's a total of 11 accounts. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 winning days so far in a row for April. Now I've already taken a payout for my Lucid accounts, but if you'll notice, each of these on just when I just had one account were the same profit every day. $267, $269, $279. All of these profits are small to most people. $250 in one trade on a prop firm account is small. A lot of people consider $500 to $750 to be the norm. The reason that I trade this way is because for a 50K account, you only have $2,000 in drawdown. If you only have $2,000 in drawdown and you're risking 1% of your entire account per trade, that only gives you 4 trades till you blow that entire account. But if you're risking, say, 0.5% per trade, now you have closer to 10 trades before you blow that account. So if I have a drawdown of $2,000 and I'm risking $200 per trade, it gives me a much better chance of keeping and holding on to those accounts and being able to manage small, consistent profits versus trying to risk the entire account just to pass day one. Now, these are funded accounts, not evaluations, but you get the idea. And this is where most traders go wrong. They think risk management only means risk small, but it's not. It means structuring your trades around the rules of the firm. Every prop firm has limits: daily drawdown, max drawdown, profit targets, and your entire approach has to revolve around those numbers. That means consistent position sizing, fixed risk per trade, no random scaling, because the second you start adjusting size emotionally, you're one trade away from failing. Professional prop traders don't guess risk. They define it before the trade even happens. And this is a part a lot of people miss completely because it doesn't feel like trading. You need to slow everything down. Fewer trades, higher quality setups, no rushing the evaluation, because prop firms reward consistency, not speed. You don't get paid for passing fast, you get paid for staying funded. So the right approach is built around longevity, not trying to flip the account, but trying to keep it. And once you understand that, everything becomes a lot more simpler. If you want to learn how to execute and have days exactly like this that lead to 13,000, 14,000, 30,000, 50,000 months, exactly how I do it for me and my students, click the first link in the description below to book a call with my team to see if we'd be a good fit for my one-on-one mentorship program. That's where I teach my exact model, I trade with you live, and I go through step by step on how to start A to Z with my Trinity model. I also made a free PDF going over exactly how I trade my model. That is the second link in the description if you guys are interested in that as well. So now that you know that you should be risking small amounts and very small, consistent amounts at that matter, I'm going to take you into the actual model that I use to trade all of these prop firms. Let's start with a random day here. I'm going to go with the 16th here on the TradeZilla chart. This was a long, it looks like. So I'm going to come over to TradingView, and find the 16th on my chart. 9 o'clock for the 16th is right here, so we're going to back up to right there. And we're going to start with our stat map to give us our bias for the day. Okay, so as you can see, we have not tagged anything yet on our stat map, but we do have bullish manipulation sitting right here at roughly 358.75. If I go on my 4-hour chart, you'll notice we also have a 4-hour fair value gap sitting right on bullish manipulation. So I'm going to draw that out, and that is going to be the high time frame gap that I use for this day. So right here, we are at market open, 9:30. Bullish manipulation is right here. I'm going to wait for that to get tagged, which it does here. And we also tag into that 15. We also tag into this 4-hour bullish fair value gap. So now that we're inside of this 4-hour fair value gap, I can look for the second step of this model, which is SMT divergence. If I zoom in on my 1-minute chart here, you will notice that we have a lower low and a higher low inside of this 4-hour gap here on NASDAQ. But in the exact same spot here on ES, we have this higher low and lower low. That's proving that SMT, and now we can start to look for the final step, which is going to be an inversion gap. On our way down, we have a bearish 5-minute gap right here. This 5-minute gap ends up getting inversed right here, allowing us to inverse this gap and set our entry. My stop loss goes below the low, and we target a 1R. And we hit that target. And this is the trade that I took from Thursday's session on the 16th that allowed me to catch this $262 long. So I was very, 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 very pleased with that. Moving into the next trade now, let's go to the 17th. This was a short position, so let's go ahead and move into that. We'll leave this replay and go to the 17th at 9:30, or 9 o'clock, we'll say. We're going to go to our replay. 9:30 is right here. All right. So this trade, it looks like I took this at pre-market, so 9:23. So let's look at our stat map for this day. Here on our stat map, as you can see, we traded all the way up to distribution, but we did respect distribution, so I can be bearish on this day. And the only bearish fair value we had was from previous all-time highs, which was this 15-minute fair value gap. So if I zoom out and drag that all the way over, all the way, you'll notice we were inside of that gap and we were respecting it. So now that we're inside of this 15-minute gap, we need to look for, again, step 2, which is that SMT. And here we actually had daily SMT between our previous all-time high. We had a higher high and a lower high here on NASDAQ, and ES formed a lower high and a higher high in the exact same spot. So now that we're inside of this gap and we have that SMT at the high, we need an inversion gap. And looking at my 5-minute, we have a 5-minute bullish fair value gap right here. So if that gets inversed, I'll take my trade. This 5-minute gap ends up getting inversed once we close below it right here, turning this into an inversion gap, allowing me to take my short, place my stop above this high, and target a 1R. And as you can see, that one played out as well. And this was my trade from the 17th. This was a $3,714 trade, and that was out of the 11 Apex accounts that I have. That's why it says 11 trades here. All right, so moving on to the 21st, which is today. Let's look at today's trade. Go ahead and leave this. Come back over to the 21st, and we'll start with today's stat map. So on the stat map here, you'll notice that we have a hourly candle being wicked into bearish manipulation. However, we're at all-time highs now, so we don't have any bearish fair value that we can use to be able to take this trade, which means that we need to wait for a 15-minute inversion. This is where we were about an hour before market opens, maybe an hour and a half. But as you can see, we did end up inversing quite a few 15-minute gaps here. We had one right here, one right here, and one right here. All these 15-minute gaps got inversed, which is what I needed in order for us to take a trade. But if you'll notice, we also left behind a normal 15-minute bearish fair value gap, which means I can use that as well. So after market opens, price ends up trading all the way up into this 15-minute fair value gap right here. We form SMT on our 1-minute chart when we have a lower high and a higher high on NASDAQ. And ES in the exact same spot forms 2 equal highs. And so now that we have step 1 and step 2, we literally just need an inversion again. Let's look at our 3-minute chart, and if you'll notice, we have a 3-minute bullish fair value gap that we use to tag into this gap. That 3-minute gap gets closed below right here, turning it into an inversion, allowing me to take my entry, place my stop above this high, and again, target a 1R. This one took us a second, but we did end up getting there, respecting this 3-minute gap the entire time. This is my Trinity model, and I trade it literally every single day. And if you guys want to use it to make money in the markets like me and hundreds of my students do every single day, all you have to do is click that first link in the description below to book an interview with my team and see if we'd be a good fit for my one-on-one mentorship program. I've also left the link to my free Trinity model blueprint, which is a 10-page PDF going over exactly how I trade this model. That is the second link in the description below if you want to enjoy that. I've also made a free course here on YouTube on how to day trade as a complete beginner in 2026. It covers all the basics, all the fundamentals, everything you need to know to start trading the right way. I'll leave that linked right here. And again, thank you guys for watching this video. It helps me out if you click that like and subscribe button, turn on notifications for future videos, and comment down below what you would like to see next. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.